I don't want to be a laser project channel at all. I don't really want to be a laser review channel.
So it's really the business angle is what.
Yeah, so that's the content. And thankfully, that's the content that people have liked the most on my channel, because that's the stuff I love doing the most. And I do that all day anyway. I'm always going on Etsy and Shopify sites and just like deep diving into like beyond like the coasters and the tumblers, like what are like some really cool stuff people are making with the lasers, because I feel like people kind of fall into these trap where it's like, okay, I get laser, then I have to do tumblers or Christmas ornaments or something. Like, you don't have to do that stuff. There's so many things you can do. Just get creative and start digging and put it all together.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Laser Source podcast, the #1 podcast if you like to ride it till it falls off. We've got a really special guest with us today. It's Justin Laser. What's up, Justin? How you doing, man?
Justin!
What's up, everyone?
Matt's here. Voice is here. Kyle's here. As per usual, when we get big people on, I just like to throw out a couple stats. Kudos to Kyle for throwing these together for me. Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate it. Kyle did all the research for this episode. He was a hoss today. First stat right here, already staggering right out of the gate, 20.6 thousand Etsy sales. That's intense. Yeah, that's a lot of work. That's a big number. How are your reviews looking on a number that big?
I don't even look at them.
You don't even look. Okay, cool. We'll circle back around to that.
1.3.
YouTube
5-star.
Even more impressive.
I have a theory about Etsy reviews. I'll go into it later, but I don't look at them.
We're talking about, somebody write that down. 17,000 YouTube subscribers, fair, in 10 months. In 10 months.
Get it.
Justin's got 17,000 subscribers on YouTube. And then Kyle went ahead and threw out some early heavy hitter videos. I got to make sure I link these after the show. 142,000 on 5 easy and profitable products. We got 134,000 on choosing a laser engraver 2023. 181,000 on 3 laser cut projects selling for big prices on Etsy. And there's a whole bunch more. He listed like 3 others that are well over 90,000.
Excellent.
And we've got a bunch of other stuff in here that I'm sure we're going to touch on at some point, but welcome to the show, man. Clearly handsome and successful. So I'm really excited to hear both about how you maintain the main and how you're running your business, because it sounds like you've got a lot to share with our audience here. So welcome to the show, dude.
Paper ready.
Thank you, all gentlemen, all scholars. Thanks for having me. I watch all the content. No stranger to the show for sure.
Awesome, dude. That's great to hear. And so, first of all, I mean, now I'm totally distracted. You don't even look at your Etsy reviews. You don't even look at them.
Okay, I looked at one because I saw an email. This was years ago, because someone gave me a 2-star review for something. Ooh. And I was just so angry about it because it was like her mistake. And I was like, look, this is your mistake. So I stopped looking after that, and I just let them ride. I'm sure there's terrible ones in there somewhere, but I don't look.
Impressive. I mean, clearly it's not had an effect on your shop, because you have 20,000
and Etsy's like, it's not all. Etsy's probably 30% of my business. My website, my Shopify site is my main driver. So I love my Etsy. I would be mad if it went away, but I think I'm pretty good with it.
Cool. One of the things I'd love to talk about today is driving your own traffic to your website, because that's not something we get a lot of people, obviously, because it's a very simple, universal thing to do, that lean on Etsy's traffic generation. Yeah. Right. And so we don't have people on very often, if at all, that have serious experience driving their own traffic to their website. Do you have a couple tips that you might give people to start? Because I know it's such a deep hole.
Yeah.
That you can. Yeah. So like, where do you even begin to do that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a very deep topic, depending on what you're selling and all. But I mean, my main thing has always been, no matter what I've been doing, even before I started doing laser stuff, is just go where your customers are first and foremost. Like, picture in your head who your customer is. Do they go on Reddit? Are they in a specific forum? Are they on YouTube, in videos, on Facebook groups? Just find somewhere where all your customers you think are congregating. And this helps, especially when you're in a niche, because you know exactly where to go. And just work on figuring out a way you can create content to put in front of them that doesn't feel salesy, really. Not like, here's my product, go buy this right now. It's like, figure out how to put it into something that people would just enjoy to see. And when you start thinking about it that way, it becomes a lot easier for people to like click through and start to see like what you're all about.
Right. So let me follow that up with a more specific question then.
Yeah.
How do you do that without being a gigantic bag that pisses everybody off? Because it's so easy to be a giant douchebag that pisses everybody off, and that's something that we even see, in our groups and in our communities. It's just like constant pressure from these people that are just trying to make sales to other businesses for like lasers or whatever. So, in your case, you're selling like an end product most of the time, like a finished product, right? Or are you selling blanks?
No, well, I sell. Mostly, I do a lot of different stuff, but my main, like the lifeblood of my business has always been acrylic patterns for leather workers. So I have a couple here. These are for orders I got to put out tomorrow. But this is just like keychain. You guys have seen stuff like this, just like little patterns.
Gotcha.
Just made out of 1/8-inch acrylic. So I design all these, and they are for people to do projects, right? So all the stuff I have on my shelf back here, I design and make all this stuff. So that it's not really an end product. Like I don't sell any more wallets and journals or anything like that. I just sell the patterns to make those things.
It's a tool.
So,
it's
a tool. So my content is really easy because it's around, okay, well, I'll make them. I'll show you how to make them. And, if you want to sell these in your store, the end products, I don't care. Go make $1 million if you can. Like that's always how I saw it. But I have done end products, and back in the day before this really blew up and took over my life, of journals and stuff. And, I would try to just put myself in the shoes of someone who might buy this. Where would they go? I would go to the coffee. Like I had journals. I would go to the coffee shop, take the picture of my, with the journal being used in the coffee shop. But this is 10 years ago. So Instagram was a little bit easier. I think it was just photos. So it's just stuff like that. I would just find situations where it seemed natural where my product would be. And I didn't really just push it super hard all the time.
So you have obviously a background in leather. If you're creating these acrylic templates for them, and you started with leather products, what's the leather world like? That is something I don't have a lot of experience with as well.
Smelly.
There's definitely different aspects. Yeah, it's smelly. If you're laser cutting it, it is. It's different depending on what aspect of it. I know you've had a couple people. I saw one recently. There was a woman who was into leather, more Western style than I am. But
right.
Yeah, it's very insular. It used to be, and it was kind of a place where like nobody would tell you their secrets. If someone got a specific leather, they would never tell you where they got it. Unlike how I see things here in like the laser world. But yeah, it's a cool place. There's a good community around it. I'll say that. I always got support through people, and as soon as people knew I was in the community, and then I had the laser. I was already doing patterns and PDF patterns, and I was making products too. I had products in 2 local stores in Philly. I sold on Instagram. I sold on Reddit, on message boards. So I was already in, like I was part of the community. And then people, as soon as they saw that I was offering this service, they always came to me. I have tons of repeat customers for years, like up to 8 years. I've been doing the same stuff for people.
Right. So you were like sought after at that point.
Yeah. I mean, there were some other people who did what I did, but instead of sending, like people would have their own custom designs and they would come to me for their patterns. Instead of going to like Send Cut Send or Pinocchio or whatever those places are, they'd be like, oh, well, Justin's part of our crew and he knows what I want. Like when I would see, there's a lot, people send you stuff, you guys know, and you're like, okay, well, this file is like a little weird. It's not done right. I know what they're looking for because I do this work. So I would fix it for them and then make sure that everything's right. And then, something that they wouldn't get if they sent it to someone who doesn't do leather.
Yeah.
And between like coffee shops and like this customer base that you had set up for yourself, I mean, one thing I always tell people is like, I think it's a pretty smart strategy to build a local base to fund your, adventure online when you're trying to like get online sales going.
Oh yeah.
And you mentioned not only Etsy, but Shopify, and you have your own personal website. Did having a local base help fund that kind of like national outreach?
Well, for me, it was a little different. I didn't have a local base because I niched down with this one so hard.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was doing actual leather products, not on the laser, I did have local. I pinned Philly really hard with like geotagging and the way I did my content, making sure people in the area saw my stuff. I was in stores, that type of thing. But once I did the patterns, that is so niche. Leather craft patterns made out of acrylic. Like,
right.
If I set up a craft show, I'm not going to make any sales. It's not something people want. Right. So I had to be at a world stage to make this work. So, okay, there's not a lot of people who need that in the niche locally, but worldwide, there's enough people to make this work. So I was full online first with this. I've shipped to many countries all over the world. I ship all over the world. But if I were to just rely on local for this, I know I would never have gotten off the ground because of how niche it is. But then on top of that, especially once I got the workshop, I was in a makerspace for years. I ran this business out of a makerspace. But then once I got my own workshop and my own laser, people in the area started to see what I was doing. They'd be like, "Oh, your laser. Oh, you have a laser? That's cool. Like I've never seen that." Yeah, right. And I worked amongst woodworkers and all kind of people who just needed, personalizations, little sign engravings here and there. So that actually was reversed for me. That world stage then brought local to me for other stuff that I wouldn't normally do.
How was running a business out of a makerspace? That must have been interesting. Do you have any experiences to share about that? It
was cool because the overhead was low because I didn't have to pay any rent. It sucked otherwise. So I would basically, So basically I would go Monday and Thursday so I could split the week up for my orders that I would get online on Etsy and Shopify. And then I would stop at the acrylic supplier, which was on the way to the makerspace. This was all within like a mile of my house. Pick up my acrylic.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah. And then go to the makerspace. I would run all of my orders. You can see pictures of this on my MAKESUPPLY Instagram page. That's my main business.
Yep.
If you scroll back far enough, you'll see me in the makerspace running on the Trotec and giant orders of acrylic. Yeah. And then I would put them all in a bag. And then I would take it home to my bedroom or my basement, wherever I was working at the time. And I would just start packing orders and then ship them out. And I just did this for 2.5 years, basically like that. I didn't have a laser.
See, that's what I was going to say is like when you're the laser guy, though, that's where you start to get that recognition in that community. And then you actually now you kind of have to be the laser guy for leather. They're like, yeah, just talk to Justin. He'll figure it out for you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and especially in leather. And at the time period, it was very frowned upon to use a laser. It's very old school. If you're not hand stitching,
it is, dude.
If even people who use sewing machines, they consider that not real. Like you're not making a handmade product. So when I started doing laser videos on my other, like people would see me doing that, they'd be like, no way. I would get hate mail, like email from people. And brutal. Yeah, so whenever they saw me doing it on the leather, they didn't care about the patterns. They cared about doing like laser cutting, all the stitching holes, the design, and then sewing it up that way. They hated it.
So with the UV laser, he's not lying. Like I have a friend of mine who does horses and they have all these leather products that they wanted. And I showed them something that I had done and the UV laser almost makes it look like an embossed, material or like it makes it look embossed. And when I showed it to her, she was like, "Oh, how did you do that? What? I didn't know you had all the tools for that." And I was like, "I mean, I've got one. It does it." And she's like, "Oh,
yep.
Oh no,
yeah.
Do you have a friend who does?" And I was like, she just straight up like whoop right past me, and I was like, "Wow!" Like it wasn't a joke.
So imagine that, but like 10 years, not 8 to 10 years ago, it was even worse because no one had, now there's ubiquitous like desktop lasers. Everybody has a desktop CO2 or like a D1 Pro or something. So it's very common now, but it was not common back then. And man, did people not like it.
Oof. The new kid on the block.
I mean, a lot of people are starting their laser businesses now with nothing, with like literally nothing. based on how you did it, would you say that like starting a business today would be viable out of a makerspace if that's something somebody had in their local area?
Oh yeah. I used to work alongside, as I was getting ready to leave, another guy started doing the same thing where he was doing stuff for local gift shops in Philly, because it's a big tourist destination, and all these like shops want like Philly stuff and Philly branded stuff, and he just started doing like manhole cover designs on
that's cool.
on like cork coasters, big sizes, small sizes, and he would run, like, me and him would trade time on the Trotec to do that stuff, and he's still going today. I think there's a big difference between like a side business. If you're starting a side business, I think a laser it's a perfect side business almost. I'm going to do a video on this soon. Maybe it might not come out until the new year, but like how I think for many reasons, it's nearly a perfect marriage between what you can get nowadays price wise, where you can do it, and the stuff that you can do, as opposed to full time is a completely different beast, and you have to have a lot more considerations before you go full time. But yeah, I mean, if you have a good idea and you have the laser, especially a makerspace where you get access to crazy amounts of stuff that you can use, definitely anytime.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny that he said that, because on the LMA, we're working on all the different classes and stuff, and everybody who's watching knows. But literally what I labeled the very first class in the business section is, do you really need a business? Like, that's the question. Because there's so many people who are like, I'm going to make a laser business. But I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of great things that come with a business, like the tax write-offs and this and that, but there's a lot of costs that come with it too. So like finding that, like, and then upkeep. So the fact that if that Trotec broke and you just have a sign that says out of order for you, and it's like, well, crap. But if it breaks for you now, well, now you've got to order something. You've got customers who are on, like it's a whole thing. And so that's kind of what getting people to understand, like the side hustle. It's really, really great. If you can make it take off, even better. But at the same time, it's give and take, man. Good call.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Especially with the side hustle, because you can turn it on and off whenever you want. You're not under obligation to do anything. You have a paycheck coming in from your job or whatever. You're not relying on the money. When you're relying on the money, like I am, it's a completely different story. Like, I haven't gotten a paycheck in 8 years because I quit my job to do this. And like that first 2-week period where you don't get your first paycheck is absolutely terrifying. It's terrifying. And it's just depending on your overhead, and if you have a family and kids and car payments, you're under the gun to do so much more than you are if it's just a side thing for the time being. So I definitely recommend side first. That's what I did. And then if it builds into it, that's great. But it's a whole different world full time.
Yeah, definitely. And before we change topics, MI Laser guy is wondering, did you have to calibrate the laser each and every time before working at the makerspace when you were trying to get those jobs done?
No, it was just, well, unless someone put a rotary in it, then I wanted to throw it out the window because that was annoying. Sometimes people would run rotary jobs before me, and I'm like, no, my hour is coming up right now, my 2 hours, and get this thing out of here immediately. But no, as far as it was just focusing. Those Trotecs are awesome. They're like the enclosed gantry and everything. Like, you don't have to touch anything. It just works. And it's so fast. And I miss it every day. I wish I could afford one. But no, it was surprisingly not bad.
Cool. Yeah. And I see you've got just like tons of leather behind you. Are those your personal creations back there?
Oh, yeah. So I don't know how to turn on the camera here. So everything back here, except for this old thing at the top, that's just like a vintage leather piece. But yeah, everything else here, everything over here, they're all stuff that I made. They're all patterns that I sell. Yeah, all that stuff I've done.
That's you didn't awesome. Make goods with the laser, did you?
Some of them.
Oh, God. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Would you say that like your passion, because clearly you're passionate about leather, would you say that your passion played the primary role in how you niched down to like the acrylic stuff that you're doing now, or was it more based on the fact that there was like a vacuum and you were trying to fill it?
I fell into the acrylic thing a little bit. So when I started in like 2014. I was already, like I said, I was doing leather. I had a small brand. I was selling stuff, and I was looking at Kickstarter. I was a big Kickstarter person. I wanted a Kickstarter so bad. So all I would do was browse Kickstarter, and I came across this product called the Wrap Wallet. It's probably still up there. You can look at it. And this guy did a laser cut wallet where he would sell it deconstructed with the thread and the needles. So you kind of do it yourself as a project. And I just thought this was like the best idea I ever saw. And I was like, well, I have tons of designs and I have them all in vector format because I do everything in Illustrator. So like, why can't I do this? And I was like, okay, well, I got to get a laser to do this. So I, and it was back then, there wasn't as much information as there is now. There was no Glowforge. There was no diode lasers. There was really no desktop CO2s, maybe other than K40s. And I didn't know how to get one. So I really went into this wanting to do like the kits, like the DIY stitching. I laser cut all the holes, laser cut the design, do a video. And it's kind of like a gift. Someone could make their own wallet or make their own journal. That was the real catalyst for what I wanted to start. That's
a pretty cool idea.
Yeah. And the funny part is that ended up being like nothing in my business. That's what got me into lasers. And it ended up being nothing. I sold some around Christmas time, but I ended up like, I just kind of shelved it because it wasn't worth the time.
So how did that transform into what you're doing now?
So before the laser, I had a leather blog where I would blog like techniques and tools. And every once in a while I put up a free pattern for like a card holder that I designed. And of course that always got the most hits. People always like the free stuff. They would download it. So I kind of shelved that in my head. Like, this is a good idea. This is something here. And from there, I was already ordering my own like patterns like this from another laser company, a mom and pop shop that we all used. So once I got the laser, once I went to the makerspace, I was like, oh, I can just do this myself. I don't need to outsource anymore. I can make my own patterns. And so as I was doing the kits, trying to get that off the ground, I would post photos on Instagram with my leather wallets and stuff with the acrylic patterns in the background sometimes. And people would be like, they would DM me and be like, can I buy that? Like, I like the PDF. Can I buy that acrylic pattern? And I was just like, I guess so. So that's how that started. Yeah. Like one-on-one, like people would DM me, and then like my personal PayPal account, I would just bill them. I made up a price. It was like $10 for everything. And I would just go and I would go to the makerspace with some acrylic and start cutting more and more. And eventually that just became, all right, this is a thing that I have to do now. So I set up my Shopify. I set up my Etsy. I have a background in web, so I was working in e-commerce.
Oh, nice.
I've been making websites since the GeoCity days in the 90s. So all that was easy. And that's basically how it took off. And then eventually more people just wanted all the patterns and stuff. So I did a combination of acrylic, but I also did digital files and all that. I covered every base.
You gotta represent Angel Fire every time somebody.
Oh yeah, I had Angel Fire too.
By the way, did you see Boyce's face when Justin said "internet is easy"? Boyce was like, "The interwebs."
Oh, poor old man. It's okay.
He straight up was like, "Shopify is my
easy.
devil."
It's not easy anymore. I'll say that. It used to be easy. Now
are the acrylic patterns for people that are still doing it by hand? Like they're actually like cutting the leather out, right?
Oh yeah, most people do it that way.
Yeah,
a lot. I mean, even more people do it with paper. Like every time I sell a PDF, they're printing that out on cardstock and cutting the pattern out and doing it that way. So I wanted to cover every base. Like if you don't, if you want a really cheap version or a free one, here's the paper. If you want, then the next step up, I started doing laser ready. So I would design SVG.ai, EPS, and make sure it's like formatted nice and clean for laser. And I would sell that slightly more expensive. And then after that would be the acrylic version, which is more expensive because I have to cut it. Or back in the day when I wasn't as busy, I would also sell the end product. If someone emailed me, it was like, can I just buy that journal that I see in the picture there? I would make them. But I stopped doing that because it was too much.
Yeah. And Bunny Eater wants to know if this is a repeat. I feel like I've seen it before. It's not. We're actually live right now. And there's your proof.
Just because we're so handsome.
We are from the future.
It's a repeat.
So it's a repeat. It's a repeat. Fast forwarding to 10 months ago, this YouTube channel pops up. Where did this start? When were you just like, I'm going to do YouTube? Like, what was the spark for that?
Well, it's not my first YouTube video, so I'll say that. I do have a channel for my other company. Yeah. So it didn't come out of nowhere, but during COVID, I really started throwing around this idea. I was getting kind of tired of just doing projects on my leather project stuff. And I wanted to do something more free form where I could incorporate the laser because I'm with it every friggin' day of my life. Yeah. And I like the business stuff. I love listening to the people talk about their businesses and like their creative businesses and how they came up with stuff and what they're doing. So, but I couldn't figure out a way to like marry those things. Like I was like, I don't want to be a laser project channel at all. You'll probably never see me do a project on here if I haven't done one already. I don't really want to be a laser review channel. I came into that a little bit, you can see with the X-Tool stuff, but going forward, I'm not going to be doing that at all, really.
So it's really the business angle is what.
Yeah, so that's the content. And thankfully, that's the content that people have liked the most on my channel because that's the stuff I love doing the most. Especially like those Etsy, like the Etsy videos are the ones that really popped off first. And I do that all day anyway. I'm always going on Etsy and Shopify sites and just like deep diving into like, beyond like the coasters and the tumblers, like what are like some really cool stuff people are making with the lasers? Because I feel like people kind of fall into these trap where it's like, okay, I get laser, then I have to do tumblers or Christmas ornaments or something. Like you don't have to do that stuff. There's so many things you can do. Just get creative and start digging and put it all together. So that's basically where that came from. I was like, I want to be able to do something that's not married to what I'm already doing, and I can kind of just do the stuff that I want to do.
I love that. Well, I think you're totally right too. Whenever Etsy and or Shopify and lasers get brought up in the same sentence, it's kind of the same like dozen or 2 dozen things on repeat over and over and over again. And so I would personally be interested on seeing like a deeper dive on some of the different things that are actually succeeding in those spaces that don't get the highlights as often, because that would be really interesting.
Well, I think what's nice too is the retrospective, like getting to see someone who's in a laser business and that's how they're supporting their family and paying for everything and yada yada, like actually hearing what they've learned is a really cool and useful thing because you're telling them firsthand, hey, here's what's worked. But what I also like is you talk about what doesn't work. Like, hey, I did this, didn't like it, didn't want to do it more, stopped it.
Yeah. I mean, I've been marinating on my thoughts for 8 years. I've been working by myself just in my workshop every day. So I have a lot of like concepts and like cautionary tales and all kind of stuff that I want to talk about. So that's what this is going to be. I need to like restructure my time so I have more time to dedicate to this because I still do all the cutting every day pretty much.
And I mean, dude, it's popping off. It would be
I'm going to make
abysmal to not do that.
A couple of comments, by the way. Beam It Up Laserworks says, I love watching Justin's reviews. It's too bad you don't want to do them because they're really good.
Thanks. No, I do like doing
Anthony.
Yeah,
I do like doing them. I do like doing them. My whole thing with the reviews is I don't want to review because I know your guys' email inboxes are flooded with all the requests for reviews, right?
So many.
It's so is mine. And when people reach out to me because they're new and they're like, look, I have like $1,000 and I just want to get started. I think there's just way too many lasers, like especially at that price range. Like, why is there so many diode lasers? There doesn't need to be. And like, so it's like going to the grocery store and there's like 10,000 ketchups and you're just like, I can't pick one. There's like paralysis, of picking one. Just my whole thing is like, I started using the X-Tool, a couple of them. I would use them as if I was brand new and I've never touched a laser. I like the way that it works and how it's set up. And I like that there's a lot of community for it outside of the manufacturer. So when people come to me, I was like, okay, I'm going to set you up with like one of like 5 things if I can. And that's it. I'm not going to do any other reviews of like random brand that came out of nowhere yesterday and emailed me. It's just, I'm not interested in that.
One of the nice things about the saturation of the market, especially in the diode space, is that if you just kind of like closed your eyes and picked one, you're probably going to get all the base things that you would need out of a diode. So like, it's not like, I feel like even 12 months ago and definitely like 2 years ago, you could pick the wrong one. And I think that as time goes on, I think it's getting less that way because there's so much competition and everybody has everything. And the weaker brands kind of pop in and pop out really fast now. They're really high turnover. So there's like 5 or 6 or 7 brands that have really just kind of like survived I guess, that process. And they all sell the same thing more or less.
It's all the same.
And that's not entirely true, but it's true enough that I feel like people aren't going to ruin their lives picking one blindfolded.
Like the Diode Hunger Games has happened.
Yeah.
District 12
yeah, I think so.
District 12.
I don't know. It's a random thought.
No, it's true. And God.
No, please.
Yeah, I didn't really have much to add. I was just like, they kind of all do the same thing. You get some features here versus here, but you'll be fine. There's so much more to learn than there is like actually while watching the laser do the thing that it's doing. Like you have software to learn. Do you understand how to set up graphics? All that stuff you can do. Doesn't matter what laser. It's all transferable. As soon as you get started on the $500 laser, I have a $300 diode over here. I have, my boss. I have the fiber is a little bit different, but it all transfers. It's all the same stuff. You're doing the same process over and over again. It doesn't matter where you start.
Yeah. Definitely. And so starting, you started with, this was your other channel that you brought up. So MAKESUPPLY Leather, 68.5 thousand subscribers on this one with under 100 videos. Nuts as well. So talk to me about this channel. Who would be interested in this?
So that started, well, it was always a partner to my blog, which was called MAKESUPPLY, and obviously my business. So how I would, every time I would come up with a new pattern, I would post like a very long form video on how to put it together. They were awful. They were way too long. But people wanted that type of stuff, to see, beginners, how to put it together. So this was always one, to serve as help for my customers, and two, as promotion, because YouTube is a search engine and people would search for this stuff, and I get a lot of sales from YouTube.
Right.
So it was both. Oh my God, how old is this video? Please don't play this.
This video was 8 years ago, which is awesome. I was just looking for a long one because you were saying they were like way too long, but even the long ones look like,
well, but look at that,
really clean and nice.
I was gonna say, like, I really like, says Make a Leather Field Notes case. It's such a simple thumbnail, but it looks really dope, dude. It's nice. Like the picture is solid.
Oh, thanks. So that, like, the video that is in there, that's my first. That's where I started the entire business out of. I didn't even have a laser at this point. That was my first workshop. So this is what I would do for. You could see the. I'm trying to point like people can see. You can see the paper pattern there in the corner. So I would do that with the PDF.
But that's so smart, man.
Yep.
So if they wanted to get that was only a couple bucks. Then the acrylic version I would charge more for, obviously, because I have to go cut it and ship it. And then this was just like a very long form, like how to put it together type situation. And it
almost makes me want to like try one.
Yeah, that's what I would. That's what
I'd never be like a leather guy. I don't have the patience for it, but I kind of want to. I kind of want to like try one.
To me, this is like for the romantic people who like look at this and they're like the old time ways, But like seriously, it's so cool. And when you put stuff like this together, like you see the quality of it in the time. Like with a laser, people don't realize even if a file took 3 hours to create and get just honed in right, and the fact that you made the curve fit. They don't know that. They just see a laser cut box that took, 3.6 minutes. It's like,
for sure. Yeah.
So like when you're holding a piece of leather goods that someone made, though, it's like, oh my God, look at this. Ooh, it's burnished.
I will tell people, if you are kind of figuring out what you want to make and you want to do a high ticket item, learn good leather stuff. You can buy really nice leather, and like even if you laser cut it and hand stitch it, or even a sewing machine, people will pay for it because it looks so nice, as opposed to like a little wood ornament or something.
Yeah, and I can't say who, but there's someone who I do like from time to time cut some like holes in leather for them because they're getting older, and it's in my community. I won't say names, but like, because literally what you said is true. Like if people found out, they might be like, really? But yeah, like there's like, that's another thing too. Like find people who are in the maker space that you share, and like leather workers did exactly what you said. They're like, oh, you can make this pattern for me. Awesome. And it just helped them, especially like this time of year, get things moving along. So just a thought for people out there who might have that option.
So you were selling these pieces of acrylic, right? Do you have a trick for making these look nice enough to package up after being in that dirty machine with that dirty bed? Or were you just shipping them out and people didn't care?
So people must not have cared at this point, because this is back when I was taking off both sides of protective tape, which was stupid. Absolutely the dumbest thing. Now I only take off the top layer. But I'm sure some of my Etsy things are like there's fingerprints all over these templates, because I did not care back then. I just shipped stuff out.
Yeah, when I learned a while back, just use gloves with acrylic. Just way easier.
So now I don't take off. Yeah, I don't take off the tape anymore.
So you still upload to the MAKESUPPLY channel?
I have not in a while, over a year.
Oh, it's been a while.
Well, because
1 year.
So half of that was because my daughter was born, and for some reason I thought it wasn't going to affect me that much, but that sleep deprivation absolutely destroyed me.
Yeah.
So that was number one. And then
congratulations on the daughter.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you. Yeah. And then number two, I started doing the Justin Laser thing, and I've just been loving doing it. I've gotten a good reception from it, so I'm just going to run with it for now.
Is MAKESUPPLY leather is still the core business, though, right? Like that's where is that the name that you use where you're driving all your your major revenue is coming from MAKESUPPLY?
Still, yeah. I mean, I haven't even posted on my Instagram in over a year either, and I still get orders. So,
oh yeah, dude, this Instagram's so nice too. Look at those pictures.
I told you he does quality photos. The lighting always looks sharp.
I know. You got any quick photo tips for the crowd?
Natural light if you can. Wait for a nice cloudy day. Go next to your window. Nice. Not straight down angle.
You got to dodge that hard light.
You got to dodge the hard light. Just wait for cloudy days to take all your pictures. Those are always the best photos that you can take. I'm not very good with the manufactured light. I still can't get good photos off of that.
You have a preferred camera?
I would just use my iPhone now. Awesome. I had like a Canon DSLR back then for that, but I would just use my iPhone now. I feel like the quality is so comparable that it's for photos on Instagram and stuff. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, like what
you got belt stuff going on. These are
what nuts. Instagram is saturated with is mostly that. Yeah. See, but this is where we were talking about him, where he said taking a picture at a coffee shop, like you'd have it. I can totally see him sitting there with a cup of coffee in one hand and a pen in the other, looking contemplative, while the journal sits there. You just see it happening.
People like that kind of stuff. It's just I always try to picture where a customer what a customer would want to see. Yeah, exactly.
He was totally being so modest. He's like, I don't even look at my reviews. He's 5 stars, 4,054 reviews.
That's what Kyle told you. He was it's 5 stars.
Killing it.
There was one.
Yeah.
By the way, what happened is there's one guy who sent in a 2. All the other 451 people found him and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah. Etsy is a different customer base. They are a little bit more rough than the people that reach out to your website. They're very particular. I'll say that. That's the nicest thing I'll say. They can be.
That's fair.
I think they are definitely some keyboard cowboys on there. I'll say that.
It's no wonder you're successful. You've got everything. I mean, it's so clean, it's so easy to navigate, and it's really, really thorough and comprehensive. I
appreciate it.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And this is what, by the way, an Etsy shop is supposed to look like. So if your Etsy shop doesn't look like this, if it's more complicated than this,
can we look at one of your can we look at one of the products? Can you click on one?
On the okay,
sure.
See, and this is one of the things I think Katie was talking about last week, because you're friends with Katie, right? Or you know her?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. She was saying how she Etsy is really frustrating sometimes, just because the amount of pictures you have to have, the videos that you need to have. It's a lot of upkeep, but once you get into the rhythm of it and it's not as bad, but it's still pretty demanding. Because like you said, people will say, this isn't what you showed us, or stuff like that,
all kind of stuff. And Etsy is very, which they should be. They're on the customer side for sure. When you get the email for a case, so someone opens a case against you, because actually the digital files are the worst. People don't read.
Really?
Well, because they think they're buying a lot of people think they're buying a leather, like a wallet. Well, do you think this wallet really costs $4? you're getting a digital product. You're not getting a wallet.
Speaking of Katie,
exactly. People don't read. That's very true, Katie. And those are the most cases against me. It's just like you opened up a case because you bought something that you didn't read the description.
So so how does Etsy deal with that kind of situation? Do they take the side of the customer who literally was like, even like, because I know on there it probably says this is a digital file only, and you probably put it like 8 times.
Yeah, so I don't
How does that work?
I don't usually let it go too far. I just give them, it's like, what is it, $5 to $8, $10?
Yeah, for sure.
Get back their money. I don't care. Just do whatever you got to do.
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, who's doing your artwork on these?
Midjourney.
That's awesome. It's doing a good job, dude, because that's
Thank
sick.
You.
Yeah.
I was just trying to find something. I'm like, well, I don't have any photos, so I pay for Midjourney. I might as well use it to make some photos for the website.
Yeah, for sure. This is great. So you got some blog stuff on here. I also saw under services, you say, I will soon be offering an array of lessons and consulting opportunities regarding all things laser, from technique to assistance with growing your business. Can you give us a little sneak preview on what you're thinking for that? What people might see on your website?
Not 100% sure yet, but that's definitely going to be my focus next year.
Okay, that's a 2024 goal.
But probably courses, but more related to business. I don't think I'm going to do too much like laser technique stuff. Maybe a couple things that I like doing photos. I found I have a pretty good method for doing photos on different stuff. So I might put something up like that, but I don't want to go too far into laser technique. It's, unless there's something I'm just like, oh, I have to explain this to somebody or they really want to know, but probably more related to business. I love the content stuff, like how to go from 0 to 1, like getting your first sales are always the hardest. And like how would I navigate that? And
yeah,
I made the mistake of saying in one of my videos that I might do a challenge where I start a new laser business. I regret saying that because
I would love that.
I really want to do it, but I just don't know how I would structure the time right now. It's just, I have no time.
I was about to say, your baby doesn't take any time, obviously.
The baby, I need to get her the same time every day. I have to get her, and I have MAKESUPPLY stuff, and I have the Justin Laser stuff. And it's just, I'm very confident that I would be able to get business. So I'm just not sure how I would ever make that work. But I want to.
You need goons.
I do need
That's
goons.
what you need. Yeah, you need some goons. That gets it done for sure. And if people sign up for your newsletter, you're not sending those out regularly, are you? Do you send
Not yet. I've sent one, which was kind of just an addendum to the video that I just made, just a little bit of extra information. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm going to focus on that. There's a lot of stuff that, you just don't want to make a full video out of, that I would just like to put in a newsletter, like a stream of conscious thought about something, or, or something cool that I came across online. Like, hey, anybody who's struggling with the business, like, you should implement this just like this, because that's all I do. I just find people who are doing it better than me. I don't copy them, obviously, but I do the exact same thing that they're doing. It's not rocket science. It's what we all do. You look to people who are doing it better than you and figure out a way to incorporate it into what you're doing.
So the reason I've been kind of poking around is I'm looking for one specific thing. And what I'm looking for are your acrylic templates, but digital files that I can just throw in my laser, because I'm not a laser snob and I don't give a shit if it was cut on laser or not, so that I can cut something out and then stitch it together. Where's that?
So for my products?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you go to the website, it'll be the easiest to find.
The MAKESUPPLY one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it is under...
Is it just
shop?
custom?
Yeah, I was hoping you're going to bring it up.
Yeah, I got you.
Source laser ready files.
Got it. Laser ready files. Boom. Done. So these I can literally just download, throw in Lightburn, cut.
We should buy these and try to make one and just see who makes the best one the next month.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part.
Justin Laser Challenge. Yeah.
My arthritic hands trying to stitch together leather.
My leather wallet is going to be like, kill me.
It'll be like Quaid from freaking Total Recall.
Yeah, so that's basically how I formatted these. Of course, it's really hard to take care of every environment. So I hate SVG files. I hate how different they are across different For some reason, it's different in the Glowforge software than it is in Lightburn. I hate it so much. So I've tried my best to like make sure they work. Everything works for everything. I tried my best, but yeah, that's what these are for. Because I know a lot of people were getting lasers, so this was a late addition to my products. I only started doing this a couple of years ago, and I was like, well, I might as well just format the stuff that I use to cut. I might as well just sell that too.
Yeah, I mean, because these are essentially just the acrylic templates, right?
Yep,
but
pretty
you
much.
just use it to cut it out of leather.
Or you could do it out of, or leather or acrylic. If you wanted the acrylic, you can do that too.
As someone who's actually willing to try that, because I actually, like, I think Boyce and I have the laser business is still going. Like, does it actually come with instructions, or is there a video that's tied to it? Because, like, it's great that I got the template, but then I'm a visual guy. Like, so...
Some of the newer ones, yes. So not that one, of course. It's the first one you clicked on.
Sorry, my bad.
This is a very so the one that has the yellow,
that guy right there.
So that's one of my newer ones, and there. If you scroll down, keep scrolling.
It's actually
I have the video there. So this might not be laser specific, but it is a video. Like if you have the pieces, this is how it would go together. It's not long form. There was a time period where I stopped doing long form because it seemed like everybody wanted short form videos. So I kind of transitioned to doing them shorter. I don't think that was a good idea, but it is what it is. I'd have to go back and like redo all these videos, and I don't think I'm going to do that.
By the way, here you go, real quick, just to show you. Justin Laser Challenge, I'm in.
There you go.
You got Zuzu said I'm in too, and then Bunny said it could be like the Nailed It Challenge.
That's cool. We'll all come here. We'll buy the file, and then we'll set like a start date and an end date, and then Justin can pick 2 judges and judge our leather work. I think that would be.
If you go to the blog, there are some free laser ones if you want to do those. You don't have to buy anything.
Nice. And
by the way, thank you, my laser guy.
Oh, hey, super sticker! Thank you so much.
Super sticker.
Appreciate you.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how hard are these to put together? Is it like an artisan craft that I need to practice for like decades to get right? Or
if you use the stitching holes that are laser cut, it's not that hard at all.
Right. That's what I would do.
But if you like that, I used what's called the pricking irons. So to keep all those lines straight through all the layers is pretty hard. It's definitely a skill. So that's all hand stitched and with pricking irons. So that does take skill to keep the lines straight for sure.
Right.
But if it's with if you do it with the laser, then it pretty much comes out perfect all the time.
Because it's perfect all the time. Yeah.
It's a little chunkier looking because obviously it's laser cut holes, but most people don't care.
Here's a question.
Most people wouldn't know.
What do you think if you're going for fidelity, would you tell people to go for a diode to cut the holes or a CO2?
I was very impressed by the way the D1 Pro cut the holes. I don't know if it's a frequency thing or it was a cleaner laser because I've destroyed this Bros and I never clean it or anything. So I swear to God, my kerf on this is probably like a millimeter by now. How whack this thing is.
I only ask because the diodes do have they're not as powerful, but they have a much smaller dot.
Yeah,
too,
no, I agree. It was very clean holes. I got the P2. That was really nice too. But man, the diodes do great on the leather for some reason. It's real precise and there's not a lot. The problem with leather is when you get the torching, like the scorching on the surface, and it's hard to clean off depending on the leather you have. And in the holes, it can get real grimy. So I've done a couple on the diodes and I think they're great. It's a great type of laser if you want to start like making card holders to sell to people. Excellent.
Okay, I have a question about the leather itself. Did you get veg tan and then actually put different colors and dye it yourself, or did you buy them pre-dyed and ready to rock and roll? No,
that's pre-dyed. That's an Italian veg tan. So it's like a really nice nice
fancy.
Yeah, to get a dye like that on leather, that has to be like company, drum dyed from the company. You'll never get like a nice brilliant yellow like that, or a gray specifically.
And then I know because like it's not chrome. Was it chrome? It's not chrome leather,
Chromium.
right?
I was going to say, while we're at it, can we shut down any argument that chrome leather is safe?
Yeah, I'd love to hear from this guy.
Okay. So I've looked into this. I've looked into this a lot because obviously it's what I do. There was a time period the type of chrome that they used back in the day, or some like really really cheap like overseas cost cutting people still do, that might be bad for you. From what I've heard, it does release like the chromium that people don't want. But now it's a new formulation of chrome tan that is not a problem. 99% of the leather you encounter in your daily life is chrome tan. Anytime you see oil tan, that's a chrome tan leather. If it doesn't say veg tan and it's not expensive, then it's not veg tan. And I guarantee that the majority of people laser cutting right now are mostly all cutting chrome tan. They're lucky they're cutting chrome tan and not fake PVC leather. That's actually bad for you, I think.
That's terrible.
Right.
So I've done it plenty. I don't think look, I'm not a scientist. I don't know. But from what I've seen and from the amount of laser engraved leather products that exist in the world, it can't be that bad. But I still do veg tan. Veg tan does way better. It doesn't melt the edges.
Yeah.
It's just far superior for laser.
It's been more consistent too. The chrome tan stuff, it's like just like the waves. It almost feels like it's going in and out of focus, like almost like a wood grain, on the chrome tan stuff. Yeah. And the veg tan just doesn't do that.
Nope, it's real consistent. You know exactly what you're getting. Chrome tan will melt, it'll curl. It just doesn't react very well. And it smells terrible.
Oh yeah, the smoke is like super dark too.
Anytime you see like the crystals forming on it because of the heat, that's the salts from the chromium salts. It's yucky stuff.
Mike C's asking if you have any quick recommendations on places to buy leather.
Yes. If you're looking for just cheap to get started, Springfield Leather online. They have a lot of good stuff. If you want some good stuff like I use in my photos, go to buckleguy.com. That's also just an all-around great leather craft source for like buckles and keychains and all that stuff. They sell everything. All their stuff is super nice. Also, Rocky Mountain Leather Supply. Those are the places I use. Leather. Rocky Mountain Leather is where I got that yellow and gray top color.
It almost looks like I have an Italian like moccasin, and it's that color, and it's so cool. It barely even gets dirty. I mean, down here in like a freaking swamp all the time, and it still looks nice.
Yeah,
nice.
And like with a lot of these places, you don't even have to buy a full side, which is expensive. You can buy, like it said on that banner there, pre-cut panels. You can just plop right down in your laser and start cutting. I use that when I don't want to spend a lot of money. I just buy one of those.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
I'm interested. I'd like for you to review at some point because I've been recommending this place forever. Have you ever bought from the Leather Guy? Leatherguy.org?
Yeah, I used to buy some stuff from there. Again, it's kind of like a variety shop. They have bridal. Bridal is veg tan. Veg tan is veg tan. All the other stuff is probably like oil tan that means chrome tan. It doesn't mean anything.
Right.
So I've bought a couple. It's a more variety show from that place. It's like,
got it.
They have specific hides that you can buy, whereas the other place is just like you're buying this and we'll send we'll send it to you.
Right. Good. So Springfield is kind of the cheaper end of things, and then we like Buckle Guy kind of has like other craft stuff too.
Oh yeah, if you want keychains, this is the best for like belt buckles you see there, keychains, zippers. You want the good stuff, this is where you go, Buckle Guy.
Got it. And then we've got Rocky Mountain Leather Supply. This is like the primo.
Yeah, they have stuff that you won't probably get many other places from like Italy, from France, from Japan, all kind of places.
And then Gretch was asking, what's a good thickness to cut or weight?
It depends on the product. So if you're doing like wallets and card holders, I suggest 3 to 4 ounces. So that's like 1.2 millimeter to 1.4, something in that range. Otherwise, it starts getting too thick. But like if you're doing valet trays or something that requires like some heft to it, most lasers, even like a 20-watt diode, can cut 5, 6 millimeter, 7, maybe 8 millimeter leather, and you're probably not doing much more than that. That's an insanely thick piece of leather. So
this is going to make me sound super ignorant, but why? Yeah, I see that. I have an Italian moccasin. Is such a mad.
No, it's the leather. It's the tan veg. Whatever. Shut up.
Why do we call it ounces? Why don't leather people just measure how thick the leather is?
So this is definitely where the rest of the world has better measurements for. So everyone else does it in millimeter.
Yeah,
of course. But of course, here in the States, we do. The ounce measurement is how much 1 square foot of piece of that leather weighs. So, which is the stupidest way to measure something, especially when you're going for thickness. So if you see 3 to 4 ounces, you'll see it really means like 1.2, 1.4 millimeter thick.
Right. Google a chart. I'm sure there's like a conversion chart.
And
right?
even that, like you'll buy something and people will be like, you'll be like, why is this so thick? This is crazy. Like you have to kind of gauge where you're buying from, and then you'll get used to what they offer. And you'll be like, oh no, I need to buy a size down from that company because they cut it like way too thick.
Right.
You gotta love them American measurements.
No, it's the stupidest thing.
MI Laser guys is how many
bananas thick is that? Clearly 2.8.
Bro, you got 5 minutes. Is there anything that we didn't talk about tonight that you came into this ready to talk about that we didn't cover, or that you want to plug? Please feel free to do so. I tried to do a little plug-in for you, but if you got anything you want to throw out there, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, you guys covered pretty much everything. I mean, I'm definitely with the content. I'm still kind of catching up. So I'm like honored that this many people are following what I'm doing. So I wasn't sure if I was going to pursue this. I was looking to get maybe like 10,000. If I could get 10,000 subs in my first year, I was like, this is a success. Like I'll keep doing this. So now I just have lots of stuff that I'd like to talk about. It's mostly going to be business related, but if people have laser questions, of course I'll answer what I know how to do. Yeah. And I don't have anything really to sell. So that's
good, dude.
If you just want to follow YouTube, I did get my Instagram handle, but I haven't posted anything yet. So I have a Facebook. I will start posting more there. The newsletter again, as I get into the new year.
Quarter one.
Yeah, I'm going to dedicate more time to this for sure than I did this past year.
Yeah, I gotta say too, man. Like, you've obviously been doing this a long time, especially with like the MAKESUPPLY YouTube channel, because it's just easy watching. It's not, you don't have to like actively watch your video. I feel like a lot of laser everything content, you have to like sit and lock in, and you have to be there. Like with Justin Laser, with those videos, you can just like kind of like put your feet up and just kind of like consume it, absorb. And it's very refreshing in that way. So if you guys haven't already subscribed to Justin's channels, especially the new one, Justin Laser, there's links to everything, all of his stuff down in the description, including the Shopify shop where you can pick up those templates if you're interested in those. I think I'm going to grab a couple and just embarrass myself.
I got plenty of free ones on the blog. Just go to the blog.
And there's free ones on the blog. Go to the blog.
Go get the I was going to say, I really want to try something and just to see how rough it comes out.
well, that's why. So will you judge a Justin Laser challenge if I set it up?
Justin and Alicia. Nice. Justin and Alicia, who works with leather all the time.
Alicia, we need a good third judge. Maybe Katie. Katie's been hanging around.
Okay, Katie's here.
Oh, wait, speaking of Katie, what's the best way to learn leather?
Oh my God!
This year, I think the best way to learn leather and lasers is to do the Justin Laser challenge.
Do it, Katie. Let's see the card holder, whatever wallet you make. But for real, just YouTube. There's so much out there now. More content. Like I haven't posted in a year, so there's definitely people who are on top of their game more so than I am in the leather world, and there's so many places you can learn for sure.
Yeah. People are always like, how do you do Illustrator? And I'm like, there are so many channels where it's just like, that is the only thing they do is just Illustrator all day, every day. And they will teach you better than I will. Like, I'm good at lasers. I'm pretty good at Illustrator, but like there are people out there that just, they breathe it. And like go find one of them
Illustrator
that teaches the way you like. And like, sure, I'll do the occasional Illustrator tutorial here and there when it's like directly tied to something that we're trying to teach you to do. But like, there are masters out there that will do a much better job teaching you how to do that kind of stuff. And I would definitely like hunt people down that, YouTube is big.
Absolutely. Best place to go.
Yeah,
I used it to learn to set up my fiber, which I still haven't really used. I watched the Light Burn for Galvo series. So.
Yeah, man.
The fiber and leather, so nice.
Wouldn't the CO2 be better for that though? The CO2 Galvo.
I mean,
UV,
It's
UV is the
different.
UV. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
different.
telling you, UV, like I've got 3 settings on the UV. One that makes it look like a burned char. One that makes it look like it almost look like it's stamped is the other one. And then the other one looks like a burnished, like a nice done, and there's no cleanup, there's no char. It just goes right out the exhaust.
Nice. Perfect.
The CO2 Galvo is wicked fast, but it's like engraving with a Sharpie instead of a pen.
Oh,
So it's just got the dot is just outrageously big on it.
Yeah, the UV
Fiber does
a diode though.
Fiber does a pretty good job on the like halfway from dark to like medium colored. The lighter stuff can be a challenge. The UV does it all perfectly, but you can. I think we have a video of that up. Didn't we do one of fiber laser leather? I feel like I did.
Oh yeah, you did.
Google that.
You did.
Anyway, guys, that is
It's an
it.
oldie.
That's our hour. Justin, thank you so much for coming on, man.
Thanks for
Welcome
having me. Thanks everybody for watching.
We
If you
appreciate you hanging out.
Have any announcements, any cool new things coming out, or services, or whatever's, I would welcome you back on to share that with our group. We'd love to hear it, and we'll be in touch, dude, for sure.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the Laser Source Podcast. If you got value out of it, and how could you not with Justin here today, don't forget to smash the like button. Let everybody else know the content is good. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified the next time we have a guest on the Laser Source Podcast. Go buy some merch. Go click all of Justin's links. He's got a great many of them. Every single one of them will benefit you in some way, even if it's just some euphoria while you scroll through his beautiful Instagram. I think that's all we've got, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one.